Did you hear that crack sound? So if I should play the same note, you are going to hear something like this. Did you hear that? Can you say? So can you hear that sound? So that's unwanted sound. When you overdo, I'm not saying it's bad, but in this context, in this application, it's not good at all. It's not good. It's not too good. Keyboard is a standalone musical instrument that you can actually worship and praise with it alone. I'm not referring to the aspect of programming beat, just piano, and then somebody is singing along. And I think I've released some videos almost like 3 or 4 years ago addressing this part of ADSR, acoustic sound envelope, that has to do with the attack, the decay, and the release and sustain characteristics of each and every note you make. And so I'm not here to teach you keyboard really, but the sound design, that's 101 of the sound design, is one of the critical and integral part of what a keyboardist should know. Yes, we know that you are a lot of you are gifted with skills, with chord progressions and whatsoever. But what will make your skills and every other thing to shine in is how you can tune your system, how you can mix your various sound. And today I'm not actually going into several different patches, but some basic things that you can play. The way you play any instrument is actually a reflection of your spirit, your soul. Your body is only conveying what you have in your spirit mind, which is why in an atmosphere, when somebody is just playing a sound, is making a sound with just keyboard, it touches different souls. I can just be playing. Just simple. And in everything I'm playing right now, just the piano, but there are some things that I am doing consciously or unconsciously that is adding up to the keynote. One of them is the use of the sustain pedal to deliberately sustain a note and to also extend some character or tone. Number 2, the touch response also plays an important role. Like I can decide to dampen this sound and make it very low. The volume is very low, like very low. Make it warm and play the keyboard. I can decide to be aggressive. I can actually truly reduce my volume and then vamp. Again, without sustain pedal. So by the time I add sustain pedal and I'm also playing very hard and harsh, this is what you're going to get. Let me take it again. Very harsh. Remember, sound. I can say, okay, let me be soft. I can choose to just increase and just play. So you see that the level of the volume is the same. Why? Because as an instrumentalist, be mindful of your level. I'm not just Okay, like I was saying, this volume to me is a conscious thing from your mind. So remember, everything I'm playing is just the piano. So that brings us to the second part of this. There's a way you make life larger than life. You know, when you look around you and you discover you are the only one that is playing to support the lead vocal. There's no auxiliary keys, and you say, okay, fine. I just want to play piano. I don't want to add any pad or stuff. So it means this same piano you are playing. Sorry, I'm not teaching you how to play this thing, actually. But it's the sound design for me. The sound design, your skills, and how disciplined someone is what I am communicating. So there's a way you can play the piano, and with this decay end of these things, it acts as a pad underground. And remember, you are dealing with sustain pedal and application of touch sensitivity. So the combo actually gives one good ripple effect in the sound you generate or make. These are the things that should come to your mind. Number one, we don't have a bass guitar. So there's a way you have to be deep here to keep that energy floating. Yeah. One of the floating pattern is this sound. I'm playing from the system, and this is it, the sound card. This is floating pad, but we are not here yet. So let me just turn it off. You can just choose to apply your sustain pedal and then touch sensitivity to create that floating piano. Remember, you have to be deep. So same thing. And there's a lot of decay and sustain pedal, sustain notes. And you know, when you strike a chord, there are thousands of sound. And if you're highly spiritual, you can strike one note. But the way A will perceive this sound, the way the Holy Spirit will interpret this sound will quite be different from B. I'm just playing one note, but it's going to occur to you in your subconscious of something that is happening beyond these five senses. Yeah, spiritual realm, if you might want me to say that. Yeah. So, and that's exactly what it is. If you call yourself a minister, music minister, and God, God give you gifts, you are very skillful in these things. Maybe you should have to dig deep into all these dimensions. I'm just a sound engineer, right? Maybe one of the talent God has given me, but somehow I understand little of these things I'm showing you. And I believe the little is going to have so many ripple effect in your life. There's this other part that involves the application of ADSR. And truly, this is very common in most pianists. They will actually go to their release parameter and make your piano sound like this. Did you hear that crack sound? So if I should play the same note, you are going to hear something like this. Did you hear that? Can you say? So can you hear that sound? So that's unwanted sound. When you overdo, I'm not saying it's bad, but in this context, in this application, it's not good at all. It's not good. It's not too good. I know when you are emulating a grand piano, we don't hear something like this. We don't hear this sharp note because I altered the ADSR. Some of them will just say it is an effect. Permit me to tell you to your face right now that this is a very ball and ball blue effect right there. So it's not too good. It's not good for performance or anything. So I would advise you to keep your release part of the ADSR flat at 0. So we should have this. So again, when you the second aspect of this thing is the part that you guys always play, push to the piano. So most of the time, the parts are really overwhelming. Parts are meant to be felt, not heard. Though we know this is the gateway of things entering and you are feeling what you hear. It doesn't really make sense, right? But truly, there are some things you hear that perception takes it from you and you feel it. You feel it. So anything you are feeling is more of a volume level that is kept very minimal. You can barely hear it. But once that thing is taken off, you will notice that something is missing. And that is the psychology of this form of perception, when you felt something. And that's just so. Now, when you have a pad like this, I actually selected this part. But I don't want it to be heard like this. So what am I supposed to do? So if I'm going to combine this with piano, it should be buried. I can feel it actually. If you try to use your 5 senses to hear it, you might not really, it still doesn't make sense. You might not really hear this. Actually, you might not hear it. But I am feeling it. To be a full-scale musician, learn the basics of audio, which is more like a manipulation of electronic gadget. To act as a reproduction of your sound. And when you are manipulating audio, it means the understanding of, again, the EQ, the filters, low-cut, high-pass filter, LFO, which is one component actually of sound design, and all those oscillators that we extract millions of different sound, right? So you have to understand all these things. You have to understand aspect of arpeggios, EQ, low, mid, high. Understand filters, understand acoustic envelope, and so all these things comes with tons of parameters. So if you understand and know it very well, then the engineering of the sound you are generating will be clean, will be true, will be unhindered, and it goes up to God beyond your skill. That's it. In case you have any question, you can mail us.